We jump over the side of the vehicle and walk over to a body in the road. A small body. A small moving body, a boy about 7 or 8 years old lying on his back and raising one of his hands to the sky. As we walk over to him, I think, how many vehicles have passed and not stopped for this boy? I stand over him, looking with a paramedic's critical eye, and gasp a little inside. He is fucked. There is no other way to say it. His eyes move to me and we meet. His big, black, Arab eyes. He moves his arms as if he wants me to pick him up, and he lets out a labored, wheezing whine. His eyes are huge with pleading, huge and beautiful and black. His head is split open, and there's a large spot of dark, sticky blood pooled in a heart shape above his head. He's bleeding from his chest. Old blood, dark blood, is dried on his tank top t-shirt and pooled at his left. He is crusted, dried blood tracing down both cheeks from his mouth. I can't believe he's still alive. Barefoot, with torn shorts. I take in all of this in an instant. Doc looks through his bag for something and pulls out a stethoscope and listens to his chest as those eyes tear me to pieces. I want to reach down and pick him up and hug him and make everything better. I kneel down beside him and put my hand on his head and hold his forehead. Dried tears have left tracks in the dirt on his face. His eyes stay on me, and he tries to say something but just opens his mouth as he looks at me, pleads with me to take care of him. But I can't. We can't. This boy is dead. Fuck! I scream inside. Come on, Doc. We gotta go. They're waiting.
We have faith in you, your abilities, your skills, but there is nothing you can say or do that will alleviate that fear, a parent's fear, until you are home with us again. I know that you will, in the next year or so, experience many, many things that you have only heard about or imagined, and about which I am already having nightmares. I believe you're dead, and I love you more than you will ever know. But I also know we get that back from you tenfold. Keep your eyes open and your head and ass down. All my love always, until we are together again. Mom.
The official language of war tends to downplay and sanitize combat through euphemisms and slang, covering it with layers of verbal camouflage. Dead civilians are collateral damage. The accidental killing of a comrade is friendly fire. The intentional killing of one is fragging. And a GI who steps on a landmine and explodes in a shower of flesh and blood is pink mist.
I laid down on the back of the truck, but this didn't seem like a good deal, and I didn't have any weapon and had to yell at the S2 to give me my weapon. I didn't want an ambush to happen and for me not have my weapon. So I stood up on my knees and yelled again to him to man the 240B. He was scared, but that's what happened when you don't ever get any kind of training and you sit in an office all day. This guy didn't react very well. When I showed him my back, he started flipping out and yelling, "Oh gee, you got him, man. Oh, he's hit. Bad, man." This is the last thing that you tell someone who has just been hit in the back and is bleeding. As you can imagine, I was pretty pissed off at this point, and I showed my anger toward the people in the town that we were driving through. I had my M4 rifle at the ready and my trigger finger on the trigger and just waiting for someone to give me a reason to have me put it from safe to semi. I maintained my military bearing as well as one could in that situation. I sure wanted to shoot this person that had just set the IED off. The people in this town must have thought I was crazy because I was cursing and yelling and wanting someone to give me one reason why they should not have me kill them.
In the weeks and months following the deployment, some questioned the loss of life on the night that Komodo 11 went down. Was there a reason for 6 U.S. airmen to die trying to rescue 2 Afghan children from tiny villages that no one remembers? We grieved and still mourn their loss, but we refuse to accept that their deaths were for nothing. During the Kandahar Memorial for the crew members of Komodo 11, I offered the following tribute to our fallen comrades, and I believe these words as strongly today as when I spoke them that night. The traditional image of a combat search and rescue mission is flying into a hail of bullets to recover a young airman or soldier clinging to life after being wounded in direct combat with the enemy. Just because this was not that type of mission does not reduce in any way the importance of their sacrifice. The unfortunate reality of operations such as the one now performed by U.S. forces in Afghanistan is that we often do not see the results of our efforts. There is no way to ever know what tragedy we may have averted or catastrophes we may have prevented by our presence here. Every ally and friend we make now is one less enemy we have in the future. Although their mission did not succeed, perhaps the parents of those children will tell them someday of the brave men and women who died attempting to save their lives. Perhaps that will be enough to convince one more person of the goodwill and intent of the United States of America. Perhaps that's one less enemy that will take up arms against us. That is why they flew their mission, and that is why they did not die in vain.